What's going on? TK Pryor coming at you, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out different ways to assist people because I realize even though these videos don't have a lot of traction, there's a chance that someone out there can benefit from the information that I take the time to read and study. So, in terms of financial freedom and positioning yourself for a stronger financial future, I think about the fact that most people live check to check. So you don't have disposable income that you can put into investments or things that will actually bring money back into your house. As I post about it a lot, and I try to convey the concept of making your money get a job, actually spending money on things that make money or bring money back into your household. So the key here for people who don't have a lot is to income shift. Now, if you're looking to take what you have and turn it into more, the number one thing that will become your best friend is income shifting. Now, understand the concept of minimizing liabilities, canceling out debt, and focusing on spending money on assets, because the consistency and the due diligence or hard effort put into constantly spending money on strong investments will, over the long run, begin to change your life. So that's the first step for people who don't have a lot, because it's easy to be disciplined or make the financial decision in discipline to minimize things that you don't need, get rid of as many debts as you can afford to get rid of, and then begin to shift that money into platforms that allow you to leverage your income. Now, I use Swiss Gold Global as a platform to leverage my money. I also use eDinar, and I use cryptocurrency as a whole to get out of paper. Because one thing that history proves is that paper money is dying. There is no fiat currency that ever outlived time. Every fiat currency eventually returns to its intrinsic value of zero. Because, contrary to the mainstream propagated thought process, paper money is a government promise, it's a debt instrument, and it is a medium of exchange that holds no intrinsic value in itself. So, to put all of your promise or put all of your efforts into paper, you're losing. Savers are losers because paper money devaluation happens in relation to inflation. So in paper money, you are either just at inflation or just below. So your assets or the income that you receive doesn't have as much purchasing power the longer you hold it in paper format, which why I suggest going forward to better position yourself in financial insurance, you need to acquire gold, silver, and Bitcoin and use that as a hedge against inflation so that you are now converting paper money into an asset that gains value over time. And when you couple that with dollar cost averaging and the consistency in converting, what you find is over the long run, you're winning. You begin to reposition your portfolio and reallocate into items that actually appreciate. Now, the one thing that people can't seem to understand about paper is that it devalues. A dollar today will not buy you the same thing that a dollar will a year from now. It doesn't have the same purchasing power. But the opposite can be said about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So if you're smart enough and you're consistent enough to take a platform like Swiss 2.0 and you use it to acquire gold grams, silver grams, and Bitcoin mining, then you're making your money get a full-time job and work smart for you in order to bring assets back into your house. Now, that's a very simplistic concept that just takes a personal decision on your part. You actually have to decide that I'm going to take the extra money I have and put it into Swiss. I'm actually going to focus on converting paper money into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Now, that's not a popular concept. That's not something that most people are willing to accept. But I guarantee you, over the long run, you're going to make out financially better than people who keep their money in paper. Paper money will continue to devalue. Negative monetary policies from the government will continue to put you as a loser if you have your income in paper. Situations like Venezuela and India will continue to happen all over the world. And the currency war that's going on right now will elevate to the point where you will physically see the devaluation of your dollar. So the only way to beat that is to take your purchasing power that you have right now and pour it into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. The more you do that, the more you acquire financial insurance, the more you set up a financial future that has nothing to do with the valuation of paper. And if you go on a historical reference point, gold, silver, and Bitcoin tends to go up in value as paper money loses value. So the chart comparison means that you are winning if you have your income in those asset classes, because they are all considered money, but they are higher forms of money that actually appreciate and gain value. So what I encourage you to do is to income shift, number one. Number two, I encourage you to focus on accumulating assets. Number three, I suggest that you minimize liabilities and cancel out as much debt. Change your mindset so that you're no longer in the debt mindset acquisition. Credit is a perfect debt instrument that allows you to live outside your means. Change your mindset. Change your focus. Get into financial insurance and make it a priority in your life. And it doesn't matter what other people think, because this is a personal decision that you're making for your financial future that has nothing to do with other people's situations. So this is an encouragement video, hoping that someone out there is blessed and that you just begin to make different decisions in your day-to-day monetary actions. Okay? And that's the only thing I can put out in terms of acquiring financial freedom, and also, more importantly, positioning yourself in the wealth transfer that's coming. Because when paper begins to lose value to the point where you can see it, then it will clearly become visible that money doesn't die